So I managed to get the new NSO Gamecube controller, and here's what I think. All right, let's cut to the chase. There really isn't much different between this new NSO Gamecube controller and this original Gamecube controller, aside from maybe the mandatory wire on the original and the few Switch 2 buttons. There's really not much here that's changed. The Gamecube controller is pretty much considered one of the best controllers ever made. I mean, there's a reason this thing keeps getting reproduced for any big Smash release or any occasion that would celebrate the GameCube. And this is just one of those occasions. And so, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make this video in case you were on the fence and wondering if it was worth whether or not like buying the controller. For $65 essentially, it's good. It's a good price. It just really is going to boil down to whether or not you care to have the Switch 2 button features and a wireless version of the GameCube controller, an official wireless version of the GameCube controller, because I don't think there's been one since the Wavebird, and that was way back when the GameCube was out. So this is our first real taste at having a wireless version of that controller. It's great. If you look on eBay, I'm not sure what the prices go now. They might be dropping because of this new release, but they did sit around that $50 mark from the last time I purchased an original GameCube controller from eBay. And so it all just depends. Nintendo is pretty strict on one per account and all that stuff. And I'm sure it's sold out. I'll go ahead and look and you'll see it on screen if it is, but maybe it'll come back and be restocked over time. Just because, I mean, I picked up an N64 controller from them, and I was surprised that was still in stock. I thought that one was going to be sold out indefinitely. But the one thing I noticed specifically is that the triggers on this NSO GameCube controller are a lot quieter than the original GameCube controllers and the Smash Bros. Ultimate controllers that I do have, which I'll do a sound demonstration right here. So yeah, I mean, as you can hear, like pretty much all of the buttons, the sticks, the D-pad, all of that stuff sounds very similar. It's just down to those triggers back here, which they might not be using springs anymore, or maybe they've done something to where those springs are just incredibly quiet, because I can definitely hear them on my original and Smash Bros. Ultimate controller variations. And then you just have your Switch 2 buttons here at the top of the controller, which will be your home, and I'll try and zoom in. Yeah, let's get it right there. Got a whole little head guard now. But yeah, you'll have your home button, capture button, C button, sync button, and then obviously your USB-C port for charging. Or if you want to, you can allow the controller to communicate to the Switch 2 wirelessly. I don't know why I'm still holding this to my forehead. But yeah, you can run a wired connection if you plug that USB into the top of the controller and use it kind of like a traditional GameCube controller from back in the day. And then you do have your ZL button opposite of your ZR for just the extra bumper when using it in actual normal modern games. Aside from that, this should work on about anything you use on the Switch 2. So don't worry about if you want to play Mario Kart with this thing. It should work. It has all of the buttons you'd need for it. Your triggers would be your items and your drifts. And then obviously you have your A, B, X, Y, and yeah, you're good to go. So yeah, it's pretty darn good. It just depends ultimately on whether or not you care for something like this. If you want wireless, if you want the Switch 2 features on the controller, if you want to use it with the NSO Gamecube app, which it works great there, which is amazing. and kind of given as it should. You know, I don't see why they would release this and then not do a good job making sure it works very well with their GameCube library app. Oh, quick side note, if you don't know already, I'll show it in a little clip here. But if you load up the NSO Gamecube app, when you hit A to start the application, just hold right on the left stick. If you hold it long enough, you should see a very familiar boot up screen pop up, which I thought was a really fun Easter egg. I don't think any of the other apps have something that's similar. I'd have to check personally, but so yeah, back to my closing thoughts. Yeah, it just depends on whether or not you care for wireless features, on whether or not you care for Switch 2 button additions, and whether or not you just really want something new and something like this. But if you're completely satisfied with your normal controllers or even the Smash Bros. Ultimate controller, the GameCube adapter for the Switch or even the Wii U's version work perfectly on the Switch 2. No gimmicks or added things. I know the Mayflash adapter does need a firmware update that I think is only on PC at this time of recording. So if you are on a Mac like I am, you wouldn't even be able to update that yet unless you had Parallels or something. But if a standard GameCube controller experience with the cable and the adapter is what is fine to you and something you can live with and you don't need that wireless functionality or the Switch 2 buttons, then hey, if you already got it, there might not be a reason for this yet. But if you wanted something like this, like I did, and you know, if you can see in the back to add to the decoration for my Nintendo shelf, I think it's an awesome pickup. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the controller, if you picked one up yourselves or if you're just sticking with the classics, because there's nothing wrong with that. You can't beat that. There's a reason they've lasted as long as they have. And I mean, I have this original Orange Spice one, and that thing is kicking. That's the one I always use. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Be safe, take care, and until then, peace.